Mr. Controversy, Eminem.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eminem!
Deborah Dugan had been placed on administrative leave in January, 10 days ahead of the Grammys ceremony.
One of the music industry's biggest nights turned into its most shocking one, all because Eminem took the stage. For years the Grammy Awards have faced criticism from artists feeling unheard and undervalued. And like a bit of me has come back to myself, but I can't possibly accept this award once it's not being discussed. The fear goes down, and once the fear goes down, then you know you have more unprotected sex. But nobody was prepared for what Marshall Mathers had planned, as A-listers like Jay-Z, Beyoncé and Drake watched in stunned silence. Eminem unleashed words that would leave executives scrambling and the broadcast suddenly experiencing technical difficulties, and he did it all hilariously. What exactly did he say that had everyone's jaws on the floor? Let's find out. The Grammys, a history of drama and controversy. You know, sat at home this year for the Grammys and watched. The music industry was left in shock when Eminem hilariously destroyed the Grammys and on live television. But to understand what happened, we must dive into the long history of controversies surrounding the Grammys. You see, the Grammy Awards, established in 1959 by the Recording Academy, have long been heralded as the pinnacle of musical achievement, often referred to as music's biggest night. The Grammys aims to honor outstanding contributions across various genres and categories, from Best New Artist to Album of the Year. Over the decades, the ceremony has evolved into a glamorous event attracting global audiences and featuring performances from the industry's top talents. Despite its celebrated status, the Grammys have consistently attracted controversy, with critics questioning its credibility, transparency and fairness. One of the earliest controversies took place in 1989 when the inaugural Best Hard Rock Metal Performance Award went to Jethro Tull instead of Metallica, and the winner possessed the name Jethro Tull. The decision was so shocking that even the audience, expecting Metallica to win, reportedly laughed in disbelief. This incident set a precedent for the Grammys' reputation of surprising and often infuriating decisions over the years. Other high-profile snubs and genre misclassifications have continued to fuel this narrative. For example, in 2020, Tyler, the Creator, won Best Rap Album for his genre-blending work. Igor Butt criticized the Recording Academy for pigeonholing his music into rap, suggesting racial biases influenced the decision. The Grammys have also faced criticism for their underrepresentation of women. In 2018, only one woman, Alicia Cara, won a major award, leading to the #GrammySoMale. This prompted discussions about systemic gender biases within the Recording Academy. In response, the Academy promised changes, including a new initiative to increase female representation, but the issue remains a contentious topic. The awards have also been marked by boycotts and harsh criticisms from some of the industry's biggest names. Frank Ocean, for instance, chose not to submit his critically acclaimed album Blonde for consideration. In 2017, Frank's decision was a statement against the Grammys, which he criticized for failing to adequately represent black artists and for being out of touch with contemporary music culture. Similarly, Nicki Minaj has publicly voiced her grievances, stating that despite her numerous chart-topping hits, she has never received a Grammy Award. These voices add to a growing sentiment That the Grammys do not always honor artistic excellence. Objectively, one of the Grammys' biggest challenges has been maintaining transparency in its voting process. Accusations of bias, favoritism, and lack of transparency have plagued the organization for years. In 2020, Deborah Dugan, then president and CEO of the Recording Academy, made headlines when she was placed on administrative leave shortly after alleging voting irregularities and conflicts of interest within the Academy. Deborah Dugan had been placed on administrative leave in January, 10 days ahead of the Grammy ceremony. Deborah's claims suggested that certain artists and songs were favored by insiders, leading to manipulated nominations and winners. The scandal only deepened public skepticism about the integrity of the awards. The Grammys have also struggled with cultural relevance, particularly with younger audiences and modern music trends. The rise of digital streaming has transformed how music is consumed and evaluated, but the Recording Academy has sometimes lagged in recognizing this shift. Many fans and artists feel that the awards often reward mainstream or safe choices over innovative or genre-defying work. This disconnect has led to some of the industry's most influential figures turning away from the event altogether, opting to express their displeasure through social media, or by simply not attending. Despite the controversies, the Grammys remain a significant platform, and the potential for drama always looms large. The ceremony's history is peppered with awkward moments and unscripted incidents. One of the most memorable was in 2015, when Kanye West nearly stormed the stage as Beck received the Album of the Year award, though Kanye ultimately held back. He later stated that Beck should have handed his award to Beyoncé, suggesting that the Recording Academy had made a mistake. Kanye's antics spotlighted a deeper frustration within the industry about how the Grammys allocate recognition and honor artistry, but there is way more to this event. The credibility, for instance, has also been questioned due to recurring patterns in their voting outcomes since the inception of the Grammys. Only a small percentage of the Album of the Year awards have gone to black artists, despite their major influence on modern music. These statistics have led to discussions about whether systemic biases affect the Grammy voting process. For instance, Beyoncé's Lemonade, widely regarded as a cultural and musical masterpiece, lost the Album of the Year award to Adele's 25 in 2017. Even Adele herself expressed surprise and suggested that Beyoncé should have won, adding all the more controversy surrounding the decision-making process. And like a bit of me has come back to myself, but I can't possibly accept this award. And while some controversies have been about who won or lost, others have been tied to the performances themselves. Over the years, the Grammys have hosted iconic performances, but not all of them have gone smoothly. In 2009, MIA performed at the Grammys while heavily pregnant, in fact just days before giving birth. Of course, this sparked debates about the extremes artists go to for the show. In other instances, technical difficulties and mishaps have led to awkward live moments, further feeding the Grammys' reputation as a night where anything can happen. But the drama related to this event doesn't stop at snubs and boycotts. Sometimes the real tension is between the artists themselves. Eminem's long-standing feud with the Grammys marshal Bruce Mars, too better known as Eminem, has had a rather rocky relationship with the Grammy Awards reflecting a broader tension between artistic authenticity and mainstream recognition. His journey with the Grammys mirrors his complex persona embraced by the establishment, yet persistently critical of it. While his early years were marked by success and accolades, the relationship soon took a turn, leading to one of the most well-known feuds in Grammy history. Eminem's initial interactions with the Grammys were marked by significant acclaim. His major label debut, the Slim Shady LP from 1999, introduced his provocative style to a wider audience and earned him 2 Grammy Awards in 2000: Best Rap Album and Best Rap Solo Performance for the hit single My Name Is. This recognition signaled the Recording Academy's willingness to acknowledge his controversial yet impact artistry. Eminem's humor, dark storytelling, and unfiltered lyrics captivated audiences, and the Grammys seemed eager to celebrate his influence on hip-hop. The subsequent release of the Marshall Mathers LP in 2000 solidified Eminem's status as a formidable force in hip-hop. The album received critical acclaim and commercial success, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and selling over 1.7 million copies in its first week. It garnered multiple Grammy nominations, including Album of the Year and Best Rap Album, winning the latter. However, the content of the album, laden with violent and misogynistic themes, sparked widespread controversy. Critics and advocacy groups accused Eminem of promoting harmful ideologies, leading to public debates about freedom of expression and artistic responsibility. Despite the backlash, his Grammy wins suggested the Recording Academy was more focused on his artistry than the controversies surrounding him. Eminem's performance at the 2001 Grammys became a defining moment in his relationship with the awards. One of the most notable happened at the 59th Annual Grammy Awards in 2017. Beyoncé's album Lemonade, a critically acclaimed work that delved into themes of black womanhood, infidelity, and resilience, was nominated for Album of the Year. Many critics and fans considered it a groundbreaking project, deserving of the top honor. However, the award went to Adele's 25, sparking widespread debate about the Grammys' recognition of black artists. As I have mentioned, Adele herself acknowledged Beyoncé's influence during her acceptance speech, stating, "I can't possibly accept this award. You don't always let us see, and we appreciate that. And all us artists here, we adore you. You are a light." Jay-Z's relationship with the Grammys has also been ambivalent. In 1999, he boycotted the awards, citing the Grammys' failure to recognize hip-hop music adequately. He expressed frustration over DMX not receiving any nominations despite having 2 #1 albums that year. Jay-Z's stance stressed a wider sentiment within the hip-hop community regarding the Recording Academy's historical oversight of the genre over the years. While he has attended and performed at the Grammys, his critiques have persisted, reflecting an ongoing tension between his monumental success and the industry's highest honors. Drake, another titan of the music industry, has experienced a similarly complicated relationship with the Grammys, with numerous nominations and 4 wins, including Best Rap Album for Take Care. Drake's success at the Grammys is evident. However, he has been vocal about his reservations concerning the awards. In a 2017 interview, Drake criticized the Grammys for pigeonholing him as a rap artist, despite his ventures into other genres. He pointed out that his hit song Hotline Bling, which he considered a pop song, was awarded Best Rap Song and Best Rap Sung Performance, suggesting a racial bias in genre categorization, and as history shows, at the Grammys often goes beyond the stage behind the curtain Grammy politics and power moves as the stage was set for the moment the music industry would tremble. The hidden politics of the music industry played a huge role behind the scenes while the audience saw the glitz and glamour. What happened behind the curtain was far more complex than just handing out awards. The Grammy Awards, presented by the Recording Academy, have long been considered one of the highest honors in the music industry. Winning a Grammy can change the course of an artist's career, bringing prestige, higher sales, and industry recognition. But how exactly are these awards decided? The voting process has been a topic of debate for years, with many questioning its transparency and fairness. Well, the process begins with members of the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences, or NARA, submitting albums and songs for consideration. These submissions go through an initial review process where over 150 industry experts determine if they meet eligibility requirements and are placed in the correct categories. Once everything is sorted, the first round of voting takes place. NARAS members, who include musicians, producers, and industry professionals, cast their votes to decide the nominees. The top 5 recordings in each category become the official nominees, although in certain cases special committees take over and finalize the choices. This is where things get murky. Many critics argue that these secret committees hold an immense amount of power, often making decisions that don't necessarily align with the popular vote. Once the nominees are set, another round of voting takes place to determine the winners. NARAS members receive final ballots where they can vote in the general field as well as up to 10 genre categories, while they are encouraged to vote only in areas they are knowledgeable about. This is not enforced, leaving room for uninformed or biased decisions. The votes are then counted by an independent accounting firm, Deloitte Touche Tomatsu, and the results remain a secret until the night of the ceremony. Over the years, this process has faced heavy criticism. One of the biggest concerns is the lack of transparency. The Academy does not publicly disclose who serves on the nomination review committees, how they are chosen, or what criteria they use to make decisions. This secrecy has led to suspicions that industry connections and label influence often play a bigger role than actual artistic merit, since members can vote in categories outside their expertise. It opens the door for politics to take precedence over talent beyond the mechanics of voting. Many in the industry believe that major record labels hold disproportionate influence over the results, using their power to push their artists ahead while independent musicians struggle for recognition. The Grammys have often been accused of favoring certain genres over others, particularly when it comes to hip-hop and R&B, despite being two of the most commercially successful genres in the world. Artists from these categories frequently find themselves overlooked in major award categories like Album of the Year and Song of the Year. This has led to frustration among many high-profile artists who feel that the Grammys do not truly represent the diversity of the music industry. Paired with Elton John to perform, Stan Eminem aimed to counter claims of homophobia in his lyrics. The collaboration was a bold move blending controversy with reconciliation. How you doing? What's up? I'm Mr. Controversy. How you doing? What's up? I'm Mr. Controversy. Many praised the performance as a message of unity, but others saw it as a superficial attempt to deflect criticism. Nonetheless, it was a moment that showcased the Grammys' willingness to embrace complicated narratives, albeit not without mixed reactions. I might have used the gay word or something on the first album, and then critics started coming out saying that I was homophobic. Despite his early Grammy successes, Eminem's relationship with the awards began to sour as he grew increasingly critical of the recording academy. He perceived a disconnect between the institution and the evolving landscape of hip-hop, feeling that the Grammys often overlooked the genre's cultural significance. This sentiment was not uncommon among hip-hop artists, many of whom felt marginalized by mainstream award bodies. Eminem's disillusionment became more pronounced over time. He publicly criticized the Grammys for their perceived lack of respect for hip-hop artists, arguing that the awards often failed to recognize the genre's contributions to music and culture. This critique was part of a broader conversation about the Grammys' historical underrepresentation of certain genres and artists. Eminem began expressing his frustrations through his music and public appearances. His 2002 track The Real Slim Shady included the lyrics, "You think I care about a Grammy?" A direct jab at the awards. His bluntness resonated with fans who also felt the Grammys did not always reflect popular opinion or merit. Over the years, he continued to criticize the show, often skipping the awards despite being nominated. These absences became symbolic of his protest against the institution's practices. One of the most notable instances of his Grammy criticism came in 2018 during an interview with Sway Calloway. Eminem was honest about his disinterest in the Grammys, explaining that he no longer cared about the awards. He emphasized that for him the recognition lost its meaning due to what he saw as a pattern of overlooking impactful hip-hop albums. He mentioned how some of the best hip-hop projects in his view never received the acknowledgement they deserved, reinforcing his belief that the awards were out of touch with the music scene. His criticisms were not just about personal grievances. Eminem's issues with the Grammys were part of a larger discourse on how the Recording Academy often seemed to miss the mark on cultural and musical trends. The Grammys have long been accused of favoring commercial success over artistic integrity. Some of you don't belong in the category. No, that was no. When I get nervous, I tell the truth, and Eminem's outspokenness helped bring these conversations into the mainstream. His stance aligned him with other artists who shared similar frustrations, even if they did not voice them as openly, and I felt like one of them. I felt like Joyne Lucas should have won a Grammy for I'm Not Racist. Yeah, absolutely should having. Eminem's Grammy boycott became more apparent as his career progressed. Even as he continued to produce critically acclaimed and commercially successful music, his involvement with the awards dwindled. He often chose not to attend the ceremonies, demonstrating his detachment from the institution. When his album Kamikaze was released in 2018, he did not submit it for Grammycon's consideration. This act of defiance was a powerful statement showing that he valued his artistic freedom over industry accolades. Despite his Criticisms. Eminem has won 15 Grammys throughout his career, a testament to his undeniable talent and influence. However, these wins were not enough to bridge the gap between him and the Recording Academy. For Eminem, the Grammys represented an establishment that too often failed to understand or respect the culture of hip-hop. His refusal to participate in the ceremonies despite his success highlighted a deeper issue with the award's credibility among many artists. While Eminem's beef with the Grammys is well known, he is not the only one. Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Drake. A complicated Grammy relationship. Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Drake are among the most influential figures in contemporary music, each boasting a remarkable career adorned with numerous accolades. However, their relationships with the Grammy Awards, the music industry's most prestigious honor, are complex and at times contentious. Despite their significant contributions to music, these artists have experienced moments where they felt undervalued or misunderstood by the Recording Academy, leading to public criticisms and actions that highlight ongoing debates about the Grammys' recognition of black artists and the evolving dynamics of the music industry. Jay-Z and Beyoncé, often hailed as music royalty, have amassed an impressive number of Grammy nominations and wins. As of 20,125, Beyoncé holds the record for the most Grammy wins by any artist, with 32 awards to her name. Jay-Z, her husband, has secured 24 Grammys, making them one of the most awarded couple in Grammy history. Despite this, their journey with the Grammys has been fraught with controversies over the years. Some of the biggest names in music have spoken out against the system, calling out the Recording Academy for its alleged biases and lack of inclusivity. Travis Scott and Nicki Minaj are two artists who have been particularly vocal about their issues with the Grammys. Nicki Minaj, despite dominating the rap industry for over a decade, has never won an award. She has openly criticized the Academy, accusing it of favoritism and snubbing artists who don't conform to its standards once it's not being discussed. For the fear goes down, and once the fire goes down, then you know you have more.